Yeah. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, in this section we'll be doing about the demo of registering the information. What is this generally concept is, we'll be registering the information about the worker registration. The worker registration are for those who works on the bank and not are for those who goes to the ATM and assess their fingerprints from that. This is not for that section. And next part is the customer part. In the customer part we'll see about the we'll be seeing about the working of the creating of new account. When we create a new account in this section here, then we can also go to the ATM, which you see just before ago, which is the desktop application. We can go to the desktop application and verify our accounts on the desktop application after we register here in the customer registration. Okay. For the registration part, I want to start with the worker registration. Yeah, and when I click on the worker registration, you can see that we have been redirected to this page where the middle section contains about the employees registration, and I have written a paragraph for entering the information. And you can see here the user has to give their fingerprint values for 4 successive time. Means during the registration, during the verification, if I had given our fingerprint for only one time, then it will be sufficient. But for the registration purpose, we must be sure that the same fingerprint has come for the registration. We will give our fingerprint for 4 times. Then on every 4 times, if the same fingerprints has been detected, then only the registration happen. And if the and during the 4 successive trying time, if our fingerprint has not been detected, then the registration process failed. Now here we are on the worker registration section. Yeah, and when I go to the main content of the worker registration, you can see here the worker registration. When I lead to the main worker registration section, then the main forms appear like this. We need to fill up all this form. At first I want to select a date from this calendar. I select a random date. Here, and yeah, okay. Now ID 3, worker number 3, it is auto generated, and this text box is read only property. We cannot change the context of this text. We can only read the text written in this text box, written in this text box. And how this worker ID is generated means, in the database we already have a both worker. In this video I am showing you the database content also. Okay, I select new query here, select start from table worker. Yeah, now if I execute this query, yeah, you can see here that the worker ID is worker ID 1 and worker ID 2 is already stored in the database, and it will interpret that how many workers have been selected. It found that 2, and during registration part, the worker ID 3 is automatically generated. Now name, I want to give worker, okay, Sundar. Last time we had deleted the information of Sundar. Now again we are entering the information for Sundar. Career, address Gongavu, contact number 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 19. I just give a random value. And one thing I want to show you that if I leave the some text box blank and click on the save button, then you can see here that the enter password or select password, this validation occur here. So we need to fill compulsorily. We need to fill all the text box to proceed for the next step. Yeah, I give a password here 3456, verification password 3456. Yeah, and I choose the image for this. Okay, I select this one image randomly, and I already selected date here. And when I click on the save button, then the page is redirected. And at the end, worker registration successfully, means the worker has been successfully registered. And if you go to here database part and execute this query for one more time, as give select and click on execute here, then yeah, you can see here that worker ID 3 has been accounted in the SQL server with the worker pin number. This pin number I haven't encrypted, so directly on the value you can see here. And also that name is stored in another table. That is, if I go select star from table worker details, and if I select this and click on execute, then you can see here that worker 3 Sundar Pariyar with the address Gongavu, phone number, a date that we have selected randomly, and the image in the what is this? In the image name it's set here, means the information of the worker is set in two table. First is the worker table worker, that which contain the worker ID, worker pin, and the fingerprint value. Currently we haven't entered the fingerprint, so the fingerprint appears blanks here. So, and on the next table, which is the table worker details, if you execute, then we can see that the worker ID, which is the primary key, and also the foreign key that maps to the value of table worker in the next table. And you can see the entry of the information here on the next table also. Yeah. Now what things are remain to do is, we have already successfully registered about the worker information, but the fingerprint value has not been registered. For now, to register the fingerprint value, we use the another desktop application. Now this is the desktop application. This is the desktop application that is also to give the fingerprint value to the web application. What is this? Here is customer registration and worker registration will be navigated to the different tab. So we select worker registration because we are here doing for the worker. Now here is the load button. So here is the combo box that appears blank in the beginning, but when I click on the load button, then worker 3 comes here automatically. What is the working mechanism of this system is that when I click on the load button, then it selects a value from the table worker where the worker fingerprint value is null. Means here is also the another tuples in the database, that is worker 1 and worker 2, but it is not selected because the fingerprint value for this worker had been already selected. So the only those tuple from the tables will be selected which fingerprint value is null. Means currently we have the worker 3 which fingerprint value is null, so this load button detects this worker number 3. Yeah, repeat here. Now when we click on the now when we click on the scan fingerprint section, when we click on the scan fingerprint section, then at the end you can see that sample needed 4, means for the 4 successive time you need to put your finger. So Sundar, let's put your finger. Okay, let's do that. For sample number 3 next time also 2 for 2 more time. And for last time. Okay. Now after the successful registration of the fingerprint, the message box telling success have been appear, and if I click on OK button, then the message appears. And if I now you can see that the worker 3 is currently loaded. Now if I again click on the load button, then what happens? You see no any list in the combo box, because last time here was the this was the empty field, but now we already fill with the fingerprint value. So to ensure that, we again select this query and execute. And you can see that the fingerprint value has been appear here. So you can just enlarge. So this very large amount of fingerprint hex value has been registered, and it is unique for each different people. So this is the working of a fingerprint. And another things is also, I already show you about the search employee. Means if I click on the search employee here, then we'll be redirected to this application. And if I give my finger for fingerprint here, then the fingerprint is registered. Sorry, fingerprint is verified, and worker number 2, this one is selected, and accordingly the information is displayed here. So we can do a worker registration by this way. What we did is that we give the information about name, address, ID number, and all this information from the web application. And to give the fingerprint value, we select a desktop application that maps to the same data connection SQL server in same table. These two things are working on the same table. That is the main things. And also if I reload this page, then you can see that the ID is worker ID 4 is auto generated. Means in the database 3 workers have been already listed, and on the next load state it automatically generates the 4th value, and again you can continue with the same registration process. Okay, so we registration the worker. Now we go for the customer registration. Now when we click on the customer registration, then we will be redirected into this page telling us how to create a new account. And in the middle section you can say here about the about how to work on this page. So yeah, if we go to the content page, then we have the 3 different sections. The first one is account detail, second is personal information, and third is account details containing about the balance. What this information do is, now this account 4, I want to show some query here. Select start from table account. That is the first table for storing the information of account. The information of the account is stored in 3 different tables. The database is 3NF, 3 normalization form. First is table account, second is table account info, and third one is customer info. These 3 things will be holding the 3 different type of value of a single customer. If you click on the table account and click on execute, then you see that the account number, password, and fingerprint. If you click on the table account info and click on execute, then you see the account number, which is the primary key, and that match to the that reference to the table account number section, and that is the account type, balance that currently we have, and the date of create. And if you create on the table customer info and click on execute button, then you see that about the information, about the personal information of the customer is shown. Yeah. Now we go here to the registration part, and for the 4th account, yeah, I want to register with the name of Sunil. So the first thing I want to do is that I want to select a date, because this date sends post back. So I want to select this at first. I give a password 4567. So I give a verification password. Yeah. Also we have used a data validation part. That is, if we leave the text box blank and click on register. Oh shit. Please wait for a minute. Yeah, that was the validation part. Yeah. Now I give here about the password and confirm password, the same things, and I give here name. I want to register with Sunil information, Sunil Thapa. Address is okay, let's say Balgamari, for just a random. Contact number, I will just want to give JPT number 5678910. Email, the email should be in correct format. The email should be in correct format, otherwise it takes for the validation of the email. Now I click on the choose photo and I click on random photos. Let's say okay, this one, this green one. I click on open and I click on account type here. Let's say I give a saving. I already choose the date. Then initial balance is rupees 1000. It is automatically filled, and this register by information is also automatically filled, because last time I had logged into this system from this account, and during the registration part, the customer has to pay rupees 1000 as the initial balance that will be stored in the database. Now when I completely fill the information about all the information listed here, and I click on register information, and if I go to the last section, then we can see that the information registered successfully and the text box appears blank here. and the text box appear blank. And if we go to if we go and check on the table, what happens is that when I execute this, when I executed this, you can see that when I execute the query of the select star from the table account, then you can see that the account 5 has been created with this password, and the fingerprint value for this system is showing null value. And if you go to the desktop application for registering the fingerprint, this is the fingerprint that we have registered last time, and this time we'll be selecting the customer registration part, because last time we had done in the worker registration part, and this time we are doing in the customer registration part. And here is also the load button that maps to the corresponding value of the that works like this load button. What does this do? This it selects the value from this table account where the fingerprint value is null, means this time we'll be loading with only account 5. That is, if I click on load 5, then on the list the account 5 is generated. And when I click on the read finger section, then you can see that what the fuck happened. And when I click on load button, then it happens here. And when I click on the read finger, then it shows about the sample needed is 4. And for the random value, I use the value my index finger here. When I give the information is shown here about the image, and sample needed 3, means I need to put the value for 3 consecutive time. And when I put the same finger for 3 consecutive time, it displays a success message. And when I click on OK button, then the registration became successful. And if I again run this table account part, if I again refresh this, then you can see that on the table account 5 the fingerprint has been loaded in the table account 5. And this is for the registration part of the both this worker registration and customer registration. What is the basic idea is that all the information of the either worker or customer is sent from the web application, and will be giving the value of the fingerprint to its account from the desktop application, because we have implemented this fingerprint from the desktop application part. And also I want to show you one thing. I want to show you about the ATM system. Means currently we have we register a new account. Currently we do the registration of the new account, that is account number 5, with a index with the registration of index. And if I run this ATM simulating software and give my fingerprint from here, this is the of the index finger, and it recognizes the account number 5. And if I click on correct, and it shows the it asks for the pin number, which was 5678. And when I click on the correct button, then the information can be seen here in the desktop application also. And let's say balance inquiry operation. When we click on the balance inquiry operation, then you can see that the account balance is 1000, which was registered during the account verification purpose. And when I click on OK, then we will be navigated to the last page, that is for which is the thank you for banking with us. And again the main page appears, means the process. This process we can repeat. This process we can repeat for many times as much as you like. This was the demo part for the registration section, which lists all the successful work of the minor project that we have just proposed.